Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. So, the video today on this Rover Overfinch with the 3.6 turbo diesel engine, if I'm not mistaken. This particular thing came to me. Oh, there we go. Overfinch everywhere. Right. This particular car came to me with two different issues. So I'll explain you the issues this thing came with, and we're gonna focus on this video. We're gonna focus on the first one. So the first issue is that apparently when you are just cruising, he said to me motorway speeds. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. A test drive hopefully will show us. But he said motorway speeds. He actually said on the motorway the car goes into limp mode, and then you turn it off, turn it back on, and it goes okay again until you go like. From my understanding is that if you're driving at a steady speed, after a little bit the car goes into limp mode. The second issue is handbrake. Handbrake is not working. There is a flashing light on the screen, which you might gonna see on this video, but that will be for a separate video. So guys, with no further ado, I think the first thing we're gonna do is just plug in the Maxi 6 quickly, and then perhaps go for a quick test drive around the block, see if we can feel anything with the car, see if we can make it to act up, see if we can make that problem to happen, and I guess we'll go from there. So that's not much more than that. So let's gonna plug in the Maxi 6 and see what the car is complaining about. Okay, so let's gonna start this thing. There we go. Okay, so first thing, just to confirm, as you can see, brake light, parking brake. Let me just make sure we get this a little bit. Stop. Okay, so as you can see, handbrake is flashing. It looks like it's the only fault in the handbrake. It doesn't work, doesn't matter what you do. There we go. But these guys will be for a separate video. This video, we're gonna focus on the problem with the engine. There's no engine light on, as you can see. All these warnings came on when I actually tried to activate the parking brake. So we're gonna try to do an auto selection. Let me take the zoom out. That should be okay. So there we go. So it's the V8 3.6 diesel, so I was correct. That's gonna go to diagnosis, control unit, parking. So I'm not gonna go to the parking brake, guys. That will be on the next video if he makes it into a video. Let's gonna see what the car is complaining about. Okay, so intermittent P023D, manifold, absolute pressure, so map sensor, turbocharger, supercharger, boost sensor, A correlation. Okay. Okay, so we can have, at glance, we can have three problems. We can have a turbo that is not actuating properly. We can have a sensor that is faulty, or we can have a boost leak. Obviously, you can have other issues. You can have, let's say, you can have a vacuum leak or an electric fault somewhere that's not allowing the turbo to actuate. I'm not sure if this is a vacuum actuated turbo or if it's an electronic one. If it's a vacuum, you could have a vacuum leak, you could have the solenoid faulty, you could have, but all that will go to turbo not being actuated properly. Map sensor, you could have a blocked sensor, you could have a faulty sensor, you can have a wire problem somewhere that every now and then is making it to, I'm not sure. It could be something along those lines. Boost leak, yeah, you can have a boost leak. You can have a boost leak somewhere. You can have a faulty ECU, but hey, that's so far ahead. Let's gonna try the first basic stuff first. Let's gonna go actually for a test drive, because I actually want to see how the car behaves, because this thing sometimes is more than what meets the eye. Sometimes is, yeah, you can have that, but sometimes when you drive or experience the problem, you can, oh, hold on a second, he's doing this noise, or he's doing this before, or he's doing this after. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's important to try to gather all the information as possible, not just what you are told, and also experience the problem yourself, because sometimes in the detail, the devil is in the details, as they say. So let's go for a quick test drive and see what happens. Okay, so we are ready to go. I'm gonna put some, just hold a second. I'm gonna put some live data somewhere here on the screen. So the live data I've selected is looks like it has a live data for a error. So is a difference, I believe that's the difference between the requested pressure and the pressure that you are getting. This thing is a V8, so it does have two intake systems, if you will. There's one on each side, from what I can gather on the live data. I haven't opened the bonnet yet, so, but I believe that's what it is. There is two airflow meters on live data, so I believe it's going to have one system for each bank. So at the moment I have, as you can see on the top, I have the selected ones is map pressure error, which I believe is going to be the difference between the requested and the actual reading. Then the other one below selected, which is that one in there, is the demanded pressure. So that's how much pressure the ECU is requesting on that bank. And then at the bottom, bank 1 is the selected, is the pressure that the map sensor is actually reading. So because I can only select 3 live data, 3 graphics on these on the MS908, I can do 4 on the IM. I probably should swap it over, but whatever. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna trace. So as far as I'm aware, those lines, they should, the requested, let me see how the tool did this. So the green line and the red line, they should follow. The blue line is the error pressure, is the difference between the two, and that obviously should stay as close as 0 as possible, which is where it is now, right at the bottom of the graphic. As you know, the Maxis adjusts the X-axis, he adjusts the Y-axis as the live data changes. So later on I will stop if I see anything, and we will analyze the live data carefully. But I will leave the live data on the screen. I'm not sure if that fault is for bank 1 or bank 2. It doesn't really says, or is not specific on the description of the code, so I don't know. So we're gonna try bank 1 first. We're gonna go for a drive and see what happens. And this is gonna be probably a little bit boring, so I think I'm just gonna probably speed up. Let me just see if I feel anything on the car to start with. Right, I didn't really accelerate it too much, so I couldn't feel nothing. Whoa! No, not too bad actually. It goes what? How much is that? I'm not looking at the live data because I'm obviously driving. Let me just stop here. I'll just quickly look at the live data. What do we have in there? We have 39 PSIs, no, kilopascals of difference when I've accelerated. Obviously the response is not going to be instantaneously, so you're going to expect some sort of difference. I'll tell you why, it's so much easier to drive this on these bumpy roads than a normal car. You look like you go on the sofa. Really comfy, I'm not gonna lie that. Right, so far I haven't really felt nothing, but I haven't been really driving too hard just yet. Yeah, this warning is for the parking brake, so don't worry about. Okay, so you have a little bit of a difference in there, but as you can see, it peaked right there. Let me stop here. As you can see, it peaked right there when I initially pressed my accelerator. Then obviously the pressure reached what it needed and the difference decreased. And if for some reason it looks like the difference is always somewhere, so I guess it's not always giving. I think what will be interesting is see what bank 2 does. I shouldn't have nothing on the green line. What did I select it here? So that's bank 2. That's bank 1. I've selected bank 2 in there. Manifold, absolutely pressure, bank 1. No, I don't need that. This moved me. Oh no, because I have. What have I done here? Sorry guys, let me get this live data correct again. Okay, so let's see now bank 2. Difference there. What have I seen in there? Did I see? Have a look in there. It's just me or the red line, which is, oh really? Okay guys, let's go to do this again because for some reason the Maxi-C's just rebooted. I don't know. It might be, I really need to get the subscription active to update this. Anyway, so I'm back to bank 1 again, and I just want to see one thing because I was not really paying attention earlier. So let's kind of look at this again. So let's kind of cruise a little bit at about, let's say, okay, I'm about, we get to about 30 miles per hour or so. Okay, 30 miles per hour, foot down. Now I'm gonna stop. Right, what I wanted to look at, which was the impression I was left when I was doing the bank 2, is how quick the red line, which is the map pressure sensor, comes up following the demanded pressure, which is the green. Okay, so as you can see how quick it nearly follows the line. So now I'm gonna quick. Select bank 2. Obviously you have readings in there because there's still numbers in there, so that's the numbers of the 2. So let's gonna do bank 2 now. Let's gonna do exactly the same. Speed up to about 30 miles per hour. Okay, 30 miles per hour. Now I'm gonna put my foot down. And he actually followed nearly the same as the first one. I was left with the impression that was not exactly the same. Okay, let's gonna try to get these to motorway speeds, as they said. As the guy said, and let's see if we can make something else to happen. I'm not gonna go motorway speeds on these roads, obviously. I'm just gonna go a little bit faster. I'm at 50 miles per hour. Definitely feel something. Okay. Okay, I definitely, let me stop here. There's something's going on. Hold on. So as you can see, the red line on bank 2, it shows always below the green. Don't know if you can see that, but I felt something. It's like if the engine is droning, like if it's sort of losing power but then it comes back. It's really strange. It's very faint though, but I can definitely feel it. Let's gonna just picture this image here, okay? Let's gonna see what bank 1 does. Gonna do the same now for bank 1. I was doing about 50 miles per hour. Okay, it's like if the engine is oh, look at the difference. Can you see that, guys? Right, this is a very, oh, this graphic data is spot on. Absolutely spot on. I can see the difference there. There's something wrong on bank 2. Okay, let me turn around here. These guys, it looks like it's going to be a primary example of how important it is for you to test and to look at live data. Okay, so picture that live data there now. Can you see how the green line and the red line follow each other way better than on bank 1? Sorry, this is bank 1, I'm being silly now. This is bank 1, so can you see how much better it follows than it was on bank 2? So let's gonna do this again, because I only have about a mile long on this stretch. So let's gonna do this again, and that's gonna be the last. But I think, so what the engine does, guys, is like, it's weird. It's like if he's kicking. It's like lose power and then comes but very quick. It's really weird what it does. But So we are back on bank 2. So you've just seen bank 1 before. That pretty much follows, one follows the other. So let's go and do this again on bank 2 so we can look at the difference. I'm gonna go again to 50 miles per hour, and I wanted to look at live data. Once we are at a steady speed, so okay, 50 miles per hour. Look at that. I have to slow down here a little bit because it's quite bad here. Whoa! So yeah, he started to follow a little bit when I stopped putting so much load. So right here, after my fingernail, as it goes forward, it kind of started to follow a little bit, because that was when I reached the 50 miles per hour and the car kind of stopped sort of accelerating, if you will. But you see up to there, you can see a massive difference that it doesn't follow. I can't go much faster here. These roads are absolutely terrible. So shall I go to the motorway? Look, I'm on 40 miles on a steady acceleration, not full boost, steady acceleration. You can see there, look at that. Look at the live data again. On a steady acceleration, right at the start. You see how the red line stays, which is the live pressure, stays below the requested pressure. Can you see that? It's definitely... Let's gonna go back to the good one, if you will. We are back on bank 1 again. Yeah, which is the good one, if you will. Let's gonna compare these again. Restricted performance. Damn it. That's when I was trying to accelerate. Okay, so yeah, ESP light on, stability control, emergency brake assist, all that good stuff. Okay, let me try. So the car was not doing what it's supposed to be doing there already. So let's go and ignore that live data for now. Let me just maybe, I'm going to stop and I'm going to lose the live data, aren't I? Let me see if I don't lose the live data. Did I lose the live data? Looks like I didn't. Okay, stayed below the green line a little bit as well, but earlier was so noticeable. Right, I think I'm gonna drive home. I'm not gonna go motorway. I already seen that I went onto restricted power. I'm just gonna drive back home, and I'm gonna try to do a visual inspection, see what we find. But it looked again in there that I didn't have to accelerate too hard. It's just that sort of constant requesting boost. That's why it feels. And when you go to a more of a steady speed, the engine looks like it's unbalanced. It's really weird. Because you have two separate air intakes, I have a feeling that's going to be something on one of the intakes. Because of the live data I've seen earlier, I'm gonna incline that it's gonna be bank 2, because it was the one that was giving that sort of discrepancy. So guys, I'm not gonna bother you too much with this. I'm just gonna go back home and see what we're gonna do. Okay, so I don't know how good this footage has been. I don't know how I'm gonna edit, because I think the clip was already about 20 minutes of me talking and whatever. But I've just stopped again, so I've selected just before I go home. I selected again bank 2, and as you can see in there, bank 2 is way below the requested pressure, even though I was not requesting a lot. I believe there is definitely something wrong on bank 2. I'm not sure which one is bank 2 and bank 1 on this thing, but we're gonna have a look, investigate, and we'll go from there. So let's get a stop it. Yeah, so first thing we're gonna do now is, as you can imagine, is what's going on, right, is look under the bonnet. Oh, let's go. And there she is. Oh, I forgot to take it off the front of the car, the number plate with the yeah, completely forgot about it. I just got home and I realized I didn't have it, so I quickly closed the bonnet again and came to pick it up. But tell you what, I think I found the problem within the first 5 seconds of opening the bonnet. Let's drive back home and I will show you what the problem is. Okay, let's gonna open this bonnet again, and I'm gonna show you what I found very quickly as soon as I opened the bonnet. Now, I'm not sure, as I said, I'm not sure which one is bank 1 or bank 2. I'm gonna guess it's bank 1 and 2, but I might be wrong. From the live data, it looked like bank 2 was the one that was having more discrepancy. And if you look like this, you can start to see straight away a difference, and that's what led me to here. Can you see this sort of, can you see the difference, this sort of fresh oil? And as I was digging into this, can you see in there? There's a boost leak. That's going to pull this hose, and I will show you better exactly where it is. Okay, so as I said, on the live data, I can see the live data for the 2 airflow meters. So it looks like this is 2 separate systems. Is this a B turbo as well, or it's just 1 turbo? Not really sure, and it doesn't really matter for now. I think I need to take these off. Okay, so there we go. So 2 separate throttles. There goes to there. What is this? Oh yeah, it separates there. Is this? It looks like they merge here. This intake manifold, it merges here on both, unless it's just one piece and is actually split. It's actually blocked in the middle. Not 100% sure. Interesting, this one. Never worked on one of these. So anyway, let's gonna pull these out so I can show you. But literally, guys, as soon as I opened the bonnet, this sort of wet area here caught my attention straight away. Now, I'm not saying for a minute that it's not going to be other issues, because it could well be, but this is definitely an issue. Okay, I think no one is going to argue with that. Now, it could, as I said and repeating, it could be that there is other issues. We don't know, but I think what we're going to do is ring the owner, see how he wants to play this game, and see how we're going to do. What we're going to do next. As you can see, it's been definitely leaking. There's no questions about. There's oil everywhere underneath, as you can see, all there on the side, as you can see. So yeah, visual inspection, the power of visual inspection. Okay, a phone call and a trip to the dealer later, and we have a brand new hose. This is the part number, in case if you guys are interested, is the 7H42-9F2795 -DB. I think the part number for this side is the same, it's just changed the last two letters. But this side looks like it's been already changed anyway, because it doesn't look like it's genuine anymore. So all we're going to do is literally thread this in, tie the clips off, and test it again. Okay, the hose is in place. I'm just gonna take you through something in case if you guys don't know. I believe a lot of people will know this, but in order for you to put these hoses, in fact, to put a lot of systems hoses on cars, they usually have these marks, which is for you not to leave the pipe or the hose in this case under any sort of stress, which is put in the closest rest position as possible. They do have these marks here. You can see there is a mark on the throttle body in there. There's a little arrow. Then you have this line here, so you need to align these two. And then at the front, same thing, you have this little stopper here, if you will, which you align with the white line. And that's how manufacturers do for you to put things in place and put them in the rest position, so not under stress. Because if I turn this around out of this mark, I twist it, that means the hose is going to be under stress on that sort of twisting position. So I just thought about do that, because there's nothing really interesting on this replacement, so I just thought to have this up, to have these in. Okay, and that's job done. So I think it's time to go for a drive and see what happens. Okay, and I'm now driving for about, let me see the time, 20 minutes. For about 20 minutes, and driving all sort of driving styles, and it's driving absolutely perfect. The live data, I'm not looking at the live data at the moment, but it's driving perfectly. And one thing that's completely gone is that sort of unbalancing that I've spoken with you about it. And now it kind of makes sense when you think about the leak. So because was probably less pressure going into that bank, every time you had a combustion on those cylinders, perhaps the combustion was not as powerful, so you'd feel, you could definitely feel, if you drive like feeling the car, you could feel something on the engine. And now the engine, it is extremely smooth. It's driving really smooth, no problems at all. It's driving perfect. I'm now 50 miles per hour. No, yeah, 60 miles per hour, steady. No issues at all. It's driving perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm gonna do this as a fix. As I said, it could be other issues, but it seems like there isn't. I'm gonna obviously carry on driving until I get home. But and I will report when I get back home, but it looks to me like he's driving absolutely perfect. So that's it. Okay guys, and just to make sure, I didn't drive straight back home. I'm driving for another 25 minutes, so a total of about 45 minutes driving. I actually been on the motorway, got out of the motorway, and now I came here back to the village where I live, then around these back roads again, and I've been driving the car now for 45 minutes, as I said, and the car is driving absolutely perfect, no problems at all. Repeating myself, that sort of unbalancing is gone, which was a little bit concerning to me at the start, because it was definitely noticeable, although it was not mentioned to me, but it was definitely noticeable, and that restricted performance never came back on. The car is boosting okay, and I have literally no concerns about. I'm really happy I deemed this as a fix, and in the end guys, just a boost leak on that intake at the top. That was really easy to see. As I said guys, within 10 seconds of opening the bonnet, that sort of wet area caught my attention, and upon checking it, well, we've all seen the split hose. So I think I'm gonna just wrap up that here, and that's it. Drive back home and focus on the parking brake. I totally get if you're gonna say this could be a 10 minutes video. I know that that live date at the start was a little bit, I was really convinced that there was differences in there. There is definitely difference, but I forgot that I'm gonna actually stop here to wrap up this. I forgot that the range on the green and on the red line, they were different because the scale of the live data was slightly different. But you can look at the live readings at the top if you want. Yeah, I'll see how I'm gonna edit this. I might leave all the live data, all the mumbling around, or I might edit that out. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Anyway guys, with no further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Hope you found it interesting. If you do still have any questions, any comments, you know exactly how it works, just put them below. And like always, thank you for watching.